trying to remember where the map was for that dock because I closed out of it. I'm like, oh, where was it? And I'm looking around. Where was it? I'm like, wait a minute, I know where it was. It was near the Christopher Lee playground.
Right. All you had to do is look for that.
So when last we met, we were at the docks in Boston. We had driven a 18-wheeler there that we commandeered and went to a spot that was labeled a rendezvous point. Got there relatively early. We weren't that far away. Came across a couple of vampires that were there, looked like guards. Quickly dispatched those. Became aware of another vampire type creature, an aquatic one, much tougher than the ones we had previously fought. And this one came from the direction of a very large ship that had a lot of these metal containers on them. Crane hanging above it, not in operation. And took a little while to take him down. Got a breather. And then became aware of in the distance, so something that's not an immediate concern for you, but maybe minutes away from being a real problem, you can start seeing some other headlights from large trucks. Actually, you don't see the headlights, you see the running lights off in the distance. You know, you've got at least 3 minutes probably before they get to where you are, but it does look as though these would be maybe some 18-wheelers that were a little farther out that are making their way to this rendezvous point. You did see some movement coming from the bridge area near the western half of this ship that you are near. And I think that's where we left it. So two things to cover. One, I want to give everyone a karma point for sort of, this is your first real like breather, it feels like in 4 games now. But in terms of, saving the innocents back at them, the Curio shop, putting them all in a situation where they're safe, and then bravely just following the trail to the rendezvous point without taking a breather, certainly deserving of a karma point for everybody.
I think he mispronounced stupidly.
It's a perspective.
And it doesn't matter if you have the heroic trait or not.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. We also talked about some of the communications we were going to have. Graham, you said you were going to be trying to upload something. And then we had a little conversation that was last game about you not seeing the vampires on that.
Yep. I know that Connor doesn't want, I said like, oh, I'll take your video out. And, Alder probably isn't lying. So, he doesn't want to die. He probably will try to like make sure that he's not in any. He doesn't have the time to do that right now, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, he will probably just like start posting in text, just like giving live updates about what we're doing. I'm here, these vampires are attacking. I don't know what you're seeing, but these I've joined a band of holy warriors. I might even, just because it's my own social media account, start referring to them as Rose Warriors or something like that. And
oh my God.
And or maybe take, see what people are suggesting and be like, oh yeah, the Rose Angels, that's great, whatever. And
all right, let's say this. I think we did this last time when we checked to see if that woman recognized you.
Right.
Yeah. Let's say roll a 1d6. And on a 1-2, it's negative, 3-4, neutral, 5-6, positive.
6.
Oh, time to feed the pastor's ego. We'll say you get at least a couple of responses, positive responses of people saying, God bless you, so grateful, that you're doing what you're doing. It inspires me just knowing you're out there facing this great danger.
Yeah.
Go.
These
Go
are the
tell
kinds
Satan
of
what
people.
for.
These are the kinds of people that follow the Rose Pastors Facebook account, right? Like they are
Yes, right.
And maybe, because this is a pretty wild thing, maybe some people are starting to share this across different forums.
Yeah, we'll say at least one of them asks you for advice. What should we do?
I've seen I can firsthand tell you that holy water is effective against these foul beasts, foul creatures. I only wish that I could share my power of guiding others to repentance with the world. But you may be on your own. My friends are using guns, wooden stakes, and
Silver
and
dagger.
Guard dogs.
and silver daggers. And maybe I'll try to upload a picture of my own silver dagger.
Okay, yeah, we'll say you can get a picture up while
Yeah.
that's going on. Okay. All right, and Jen, we'll say, since we have just a little bit of a breather, you already did get some communication back from MI13, and if you wanted to, you probably have some time to either send them an update, because the last update that you got, you found out that there were some vampires in England looking for you. And we'll say it was near the MI13 headquarters.
Mhm.
Then that they were looking for you. So if you wanted to, you could send the communication back to them, or you could try and make contact with somebody else if you wanted to.
Yeah, so I think I would want to get word back to them that, and I don't want to say, exactly where I am, but that I've
Mhm.
heard that humans are being rounded up to be put on boats.
Okay. We'll say you get a confirmation. We'll say it's still Faiza Hussein who's responding to you, and that probably get a sarcastic response like, "Oh, it's a good thing we don't live on an island," or anything like that. And she'll say, "All right, we'll keep an eye out for that, and we'll let you know what we find out." Okay.
And I'll send her back chin up.
All right. Cheerio.
Right.
Fish, does Cullen want to take a moment to get any actually I'll let you decide. Do you want to send another communication out, or do you want to receive something?
I would like to receive something.
Okay. You get a text message from your sister. And first the text comes through, and then you can see the picture with the little clock saying this is taking much longer than normal for you to download a single image. But the picture says the text says something along the lines of just enjoying the theater district with a friend. And as the picture comes in, you can see Elsa has taken a selfie of her and a rather perturbed looking blonde woman dressed completely in white with a white moon symbol, crescent moon, around one of her eyes. Both of them are covered in blood. And Elsa's got a big smile on her face. The other individual looks a little maybe a little grumpier. And you do see there is some, despite it being a very dark night or dark day, obviously, there is a tremendous amount of light almost obscuring a corner of the picture coming from the blonde woman's side of the photograph, maybe off to the bottom left, like there was maybe like she was holding a very bright something in her hand.
You said she was dressed all in white,
Dressed all in white, blonde hair, and
very tight fitting white.
yeah, maybe a little bit of a
Yeah,
cutout in the upper chest area of some kind.
got it.
Maybe a dagger shape, perhaps.
Yes, yes. So, well, and I text back. Ah, I see. Daggers out and all that. At least you're not being lazy.
Yeah, well, it's just she'll get back real quick. Gotta go, but yeah, it's just half of the duo. Seems that quite a number of the Dark Force users are in a bit of a spot lately.
Mm.
Oh, and then there's a stream of expletives coming after that about some blankety blank 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 vampires got to go blank blank blank. It's your sister. You know how her mouth can
Mhm.
get.
Yes.
And then it cuts off. She like back to work, and then that's it.
Okay, fair enough.
Everyone give me some vigilance checks. This one's going to be relatively easy. We'll call it a 13.
14.
Okay.
7.
16.
Ooh.
I'm tired. I rolled a 12.
Okay. All right. So Cullen and Alder, you guys everyone's aware. You're just taking a beat, resting a little bit, checking your phones.
Yeah. Although we are aware that like more trucks are coming, right?
Yeah, but like I said, they're like 3 minutes off right now. So this is your first, like they're not zooming towards you. Like
Sure.
you can see like over the bridge on the other side of the dock. They've got to come over that bridge that you came over, zip all the way around. And these are large, slow vehicles that are not moving quickly. And you're not even 100% sure that they're coming this way, but they look from a distance, they look similar to the ones you're driving, and the fact that they're not using their lights is a little bit of a clue too.
Right.
But the two of you, as you're walking around, just as you get done wrapping up your little chat sessions on your phone, hear a wet sort of splat sound not too far from you,
Oh.
off to the west a little bit.
As if it came out of the water.
You're
Or
not
is
sure
it-
if it came out of the water, but it definitely sounded like something
Wet.
on the land. It could have been a wet footprint, like almost like a flipper sound. No fantastic successes, or I won't tell you exactly what it is, but you've got the area, and it sounded like something wet and physical on the dock itself, but a little bit of a splashing sound. It didn't sound like something coming out of the water.
That's in the direction of Christopher Lee Park.
No, that's more south. That's more south.
That's how it
I friends, I think it's time that we vacate the premises.
yeah, I think it might be another one of those Atlantean vampire things. So yeah, I'm like, did you hear that? Maybe we should get back with the others.
Yes, perhaps we should reconvene and at the manor and plan next steps.
All right, let me give you an image real quick. Let me share my screen. All right, so you guys are over here. I think you were in this area over here,
Yeah.
right? The truck is park somewhere over here.
Mhm.
And the sound came from, we'll say, under one of these cranes. So not far from you.
Was it just them who heard it, or did all of us hear it?
Just the two of them heard it. You didn't hear anything.
Okay.
We, I will relay
Mhm.
information that we've just, there's something coming from, there is some wet sounding thing coming from over in this direction. I would prefer not to tangle with one of those Atlantean vampires again.
So are you suggesting we get back into the truck?
I
Or
think we should vacate.
There's more coming. There's
I
a whole
think-
caravan. I
I
don't
think-
know if
right.
we're feeling like we can take on trucks full of vampires
I also
as powerful as we are.
we could I mean, obviously taking the truck would probably be the fastest way out, but it also might be the most obvious sign that we're not supposed to be here. So maybe running.
What about some of those smaller boats? Or the
Whoa.
big boat?
Yeah, there are a number of smaller boats to the west. Everybody give me another vigilance check. Same target number 13.
Oh, to the west?
I got a 14 this time.
Okay.
I didn't hear this one.
11.
14 for the win.
I also got an 11.
Okay. So it's the other two that see it or hear it this time. Same thing, except this time it's coming from under the westmost crane, and it's another wet splat. Vann, did you re-roll for your edge on your second
I
try?
will.
Ooh, speaking
That's
of which,
fine.
I can do that too.
15.
And I got a marvel
Oh, excellent.
my reroll, so I got a fantastic 15.
Okay. So you hear both of you hear another splat, or Jen, Spitfire as well hears a splat, and you definitely hear it. You draw your attention there. It's still incredibly dark in this area.
Does it sound like something walking, or does it sound like something like something falling to the ground?
It sounds like something falling. Yeah, so I'll give that to you. And the other thing I'll tell you is now, you can look in that area because you're a little more alert for it. You can look in that area and you can see a small little lump on the ground.
A lump
Mm-hmm.
on the ground.
Yeah, like maybe the size of a loaf of bread or something like that.
It's a lump. It's not a puddle. It's a lump.
Yeah, it's a mass on the ground.
A mass
Yeah.
on the ground. I don't know what this, folks. Well, okay, what's a good way of saying this in British? I don't know. Chaps. There is a mass of some sort congealing, coagulating.
I never said it was congealing. It's
It's collecting.
it is a physical. It is a solid
sound.
versus a puddle, right? So
I am
it is a
conjecturing.
solid.
I'm conjecturing from the whole splat sound thing, and then the lump that whatever it is like pooling and building up in a certain area.
Did you guys ever see that movie, The Blob?
The blob. So
You guys know what a
or-
gelatinous cube is?
right, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
wrong game.
You realize in the amount of time it took Cullen to say that, Spitfire could have been over there
Right.
and like checked it out and come back 3 times.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, and Spitfire is looking up. Like, did she see anything that looked like it could have dropped from those? What are they called?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got these big cranes, these big
Yeah.
looking cranes. Yeah. I mean, if you would have to get a little bit closer to try and determine that.
All right, so yeah, so if I just like zip over there and look to see if there's something up there.
Yeah, so you can zip over there. I'd say the first thing that you see once you get closer is that there are two, one under each of those cranes, fish.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
like
Fish.
fish, regular fish. You're not a fish expert. You don't know what kind they are, but they're like fish.
Certainly not a Boston Harbor fish expert.
And you mentioned you wanted to look up. You can give me another vigilance check if you wanted to look
Okay,
up.
yeah, so looking up, I got a 17 with a marvel.
Oh, okay. All right, so that is a fantastic success. So I'll give you two things.
Right.
One will say that you do see a pair of eyes, reflective, much like a cat's eyes would reflect even just a little bit of light. And you can see two of them, and it's got kind of a greenish color to them. You would know that while some vampires can see well in the dark, they have a reddish tinge to theirs. So vampire doesn't scream to mind. And then also you can see a little bit of a form that's moving behind it. So with the fantastic success, you get a little bit of sense of what that form is. It appears to be humanoid shape, not like Connor, much smaller than even Connor's human form. Maybe you get a little sense of some ears, some feline looking ears above it, or maybe a little bit of a tail swoops down, but it's too dark to get any color or any other details. And then the eyes close and it jumps maybe farther to the west. And then the eyes open again and you can see it again, still at the crane. And it seems to be like moving its head to the west a little bit and then looking back at you.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll zip back over to the other guys and say, there's definitely something up there. It jumps rather like a cat, but it's seemed like it was maybe humanoid. I'm not sure.
Again, I must reiterate, we should leave.
You want to go over to the boats?
If no one else has a better idea, we should steer far, far away from whatever is up there, and we should make our way to the boats. That's my opinion.
How are we gonna stop this vampire menace, this vampire threat?
Different
Heroes.
problem for a different moment in time.
Yeah, I definitely
All
don't want to
right.
get eaten by vampires.
No, I don't want to get eaten by vampires. You guys have noticed I had been staying in werewolf form at the end of the last game, but while you guys were all looking at fish, I apparently switched back.
Wait, fish or fish?
Not me.
Fish, not Cullen, fish. Fish that apparently fell from the scaffolding. So yeah, since there was no immediate combat, I switched back into human form. You're right. You're right. We can't fight all these vampires by hand. How many vehicles are nearby that we could potentially light on fire? How, could we light one of these trucks on fire and drive it into the boat? We came here with the intention of saving people. This is obviously bigger than just saving people. I understand we're not going to take out this entire, we're not going to stop whatever the hell is happening right now. but I think we ought to at least be able to, like, fuck up this operation more than just the however many that we killed already.
Mhm. Yeah, I would say there are a couple of vehicles here, only one of which you have the keys to. So I would say you've got the one vehicle for sure. Others that you could push, perhaps, especially in a werewolf form, easily, if not throw.
Okay.
And we'll say, just like on the map, there are a couple of those.
All right. I'm just rather than just purely running away, I'm
Mhm.
just thinking, let's see about, if we can take out the big boat, one way or another, throw a monkey wrench in their operations here.
Mhm.
Uh,
Um, yeah.
I'm just trying to think of I mean, how? It's a humongous boat. How would we do enough damage to it to make it not seaworthy without having to go deep into the boat to set charges someplace and then risking running into more vampires in the process?
Well, the narrator implied that I could throw a car. Is that accurate? I have I have uh, I do have Mighty 3.
Yes, you could pick up, I think, a bus and easily throw a car.
Okay. So if I can throw a car, how can we set it on fire?
Well, you may not be able to set it on fire, but
Basically I'm thinking, can we turn cars into Molotov cocktails?
oh,
That would be really fun
oh,
if we can do it.
All right, everyone, give me more vigilance checks.
This is a good time to remember that my character has the clueless trait, which means I should have brought this up earlier. I forgot. I have trouble on vigilance check to spot hidden or invisible things.
I got a fantastic 12 on that vigilance check.
Ooh,
I got an
gosh.
18.
Excellent. I am using my edge because I rolled a 13.
Mhm.
Reroll.
I got a 6 Marvel 5, but I have to do trouble, so reroll. I took trouble on my Marvel and I got another Marvel, so it's a fantastic 19.
Cullen and Alder, you see um, some more movement towards from that crane. And we'll say in this picture, the ship is the bridge is a little closer to where one of those cranes are. But you both can clearly see something jump from the crane to the bridge area over here. So we'll say that again, that distance is much less than it appears to
Like
be on
on
the
the
map.
boat.
Yeah, so it jumps from the
Okay.
crane to the bridge area on the boat.
Okay.
We'll say you're both
know what it
looking
looks
for several seconds to see like what happens, and then everyone very clearly hears a couple of gunshots and muzzle flashes coming from the bridge area.
Oh,
Submachine gun fire, very similar to what you've heard previously.
I hide behind Cullen.
Okay. You hide behind Cullen.
Yeah, I skulk. That's the action.
Um,
I flirtatiously say it's not really the time for that.
and then Cullen,
I morph back into werewolf form.
okay, you go back in the werewolf form, and then you can hear a third splat, maybe like 10-15 seconds later. This is a larger, louder splat. It's coming further west still. So you had one splat kind of right over here under the first crane, another splat. These were just fish over here. And then this one is coming pretty close to the boat right over there.
Hmm.
Fish fire guns?
You'd have to you have to get a little closer to see what it is.
No, I think somebody's trying to draw us over there.
I am very so we I wanted to stay focused on dismantling this boat. And we had talked about throwing a car, a Molotov cocktail,
Mhm.
etc. Uh, how much damage would we have to do to one of these tall structures to knock it over there onto the boat?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Oh, the crane? Like knock the crane over on top of it?
Yeah.
That's a very good idea.
Even if
That's a
one of
very
those
good
drops
idea.
on that thing, it's not going anywhere.
That's a
Good
great
call.
idea.
That is a very good idea.
I mean, with a werewolf, especially a werewolf that's put additional powers into his mighty score, so he's stronger than the average hulking werewolf.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd say it's a matter of time, or maybe if you had some had some help, other well, Spitfire's got mighty one now, right?
Right.
So I think it's a question of like you've got these giant beams, and these things are designed to lift tons, right? And so they're incredibly strong. You could like move it back and forth, and you probably have a better chance of weakening the concrete than the metal, but
Mhm.
it's at least a chance. But you'd really have to it would really take a lot, and it would take some time. You're
And
not sure, not being an expert in this sort of thing, you're not sure if that's more time than you've got, given the approach of the trucks. Driving a truck into it can't hurt. Maybe that'll help. Maybe it'll help weaken it. A lot of options there. Alder, you were still looking at the area where there was the third splat. Given that you don't have mighty,
No.
and therefore wouldn't be a I mean, inspiration, right? That could come in
Yeah.
handy.
I can definitely inspire.
Yeah, but what do you think in terms of what you might want to do?
And just to be clear, we're like by the cranes.
You started off over here. I think
Yeah.
I think you probably got
Yeah.
a little closer, so maybe you're somewhere over there. But yet, at the very least, one of you inspected the fish. So I think Spitfire at least got
Yeah.
over there.
Right. I ran over and ran back.
Yeah, I mean, so as you know, like, yeah, I don't have might. I am very lucky that I have not been shot or punched or anything in this adventure so far. But Alder would not like that. So he's especially like hearing all these things, he's a little worried about what he can't see and the harm befalling him. So but it also feels like there's no good direction to run. They don't have a vehicle. I mean, I guess we could back. Yeah, I think he feels, and he's not a mastermind, right? He's not thinking of like he has a sense of self-preservation, but like he doesn't have a good idea about how to get out of the situation.
Are you still recording?
Probably not this moment. There's
Okay.
not, we're not fighting anything. Don't want to see us be scared or anything. And I know that like can't see vampires anyway. So yeah, probably just staying close to the parties. It was behind Cullen's, probably staying close to Cullen.
Okay.
Is there any movement on the deck of the boat?
Well, there was just a large splat that was very close to the deck, kind of like right over here.
Yeah, and
Maybe
you said we
10,
saw muzzle
20
flashes,
foot.
right?
That wasn't on the deck. That was up in the bridge area. So
Gotcha.
gunshots,
Okay,
muzzle
so
flashes.
So there's definitely activity on the bridge,
Yes,
and somehow they fired at something,
correct.
but we didn't hear bullets ricocheting around near us, and there's been no further fires. There was just like two gunshots.
Imagine maybe there's some glass, and we'll say that glass was had the same kind of UV coating on it where you couldn't
Yeah.
see into it. And it was only the muzzle flashes from the inside and the muffled sound of them that gave you any indication, but you certainly couldn't see it with detail. But it was like a brap kind of sound that, but bursts of 3 rounds going off. But we'll say the glass didn't break. And you didn't hear anything after that. And then again, 15 seconds later, the splat.
All right. I'm going to go over. I want to check out where the third splat.
Okay. You go over, you check out the third splat. You don't have to get, like, let's say it's over here. By the time you get under this crane over here, you can see it's a humanoid body. But we'll just say with your senses, it doesn't smell
What?
alive.
So, what the third splat was a humanoid body?
Humanoid body right over here.
All right. Does not smell alive, not moving, right?
Right. No breathing.
Does it smell like a previous vampire?
Yeah, I mean, you would know. It smells like, yeah. And you could, once you get a look.
Okay, so something else is taking out vampires.
You can get a little bit closer if you want. I'll give you more detail. No roll necessary.
Yeah, I'll get closer.
25 feet away, you can see its throat's been ripped open, but you don't see any gunshot wounds.
Am I experiencing any memory loss?
You're not experiencing any memory loss. It doesn't look like, let's say, as savage as what you've done. Maybe it looks like
Sure.
Something a little smaller, but you're a particularly big boy.
All right, I'm going to run with my initial instincts. Something's leading us to come onto this boat. There's something about this. I don't know why. I don't know what. I will run on my instincts. We're supposed to be on that boat.
Give me one more vigilance check.
13.
Okay, 13 is good enough.
Okay.
You can see a creature clinging to the side of the bridge.
You mean on the outside?
On the outside, looks down at you, and you can see green reflective eyes, cat-like, right? Your senses are good enough.
So I was about to say I'm a werewolf, so it's dog and cat thing. I picked that up.
You can see a feline form. You can see a long tail kind of waving a little bit, maybe even trying to get your attention, like waving expectantly.
Cocky tail.
And then when you make eye contact with it, it smiles at you and then nods to the west, kind of like with its head, and then scurries down the side of begins to scurry down the side of the bridge, moving like almost like a
Spider-Man?
I mean almost like Spider-Man would. Or Nightcrawler, but not moving like a werewolf you've seen, just zips kind of right down. And then probably out of sight a little bit.
So came down and was staying on the boat?
It's just making its way down right now. It's pretty high up, right? It's got to be at least 50 foot up. So it's beginning to slowly make its way down, crawling upside down, like head down. I guess like a squirrel would kind of be like, if you ever seen squirrels making their way up and down trees, similar to that, legs kind of splayed. And you could see its form is kind of like a werewolfy but feline form is the best way you would describe it.
Werecat?
Something like that.
But this person is decidedly still on the boat.
Decidedly still on the boat, but still making its way down. So you'll have a a couple actions to determine whether, to do something.
Like coming
before-
towards, basically coming towards us, coming towards me.
It's coming. It's. I can't tell. Like you can't tell right now because it's just coming down. So it's got like,
Okay.
let's say a couple of rounds where it's going to be going down. If it's 50 feet, that's a standard action and a move action. If it's crawl speed or whatever it's doing was the same as yours, right? So you've got, I want to give you an opportunity to get a standard action or a move action, or tell me what you want to do before we continue with what this thing is doing.
I'm already in wolf form or werewolf form.
Mhm.
So I don't have to change. In terms of seeing this creature, for whatever reason, this creature doesn't, for whatever reason, it's not triggering me as a player or Connor as a wolf. Like danger sense, and which might be totally mistaken, might come down here and kick my ass. I have no idea. But like for whatever reason, I'm kind of just standing there and like, how huskies will occasionally just like, turn their head, when they're looking at something curious. That's kind of what I feel like I'm doing. So it's just kind of like, I'm paying attention to what else is going around. We have the trucks coming in. We have the rest of the party that I assume is somewhat behind me within at least yelling distance or something.
Right.
Otherwise I'm just kind of tracking this other to see, is it going to slip deeper into the boat? Is it going to jump off the boat? Is it coming to attack or communicate? At this point, I'm tracking that creature.
Right. Yeah. All right. So it makes its way down, kind of looks at you.
How far away is it?
It's right on, it lands on the dead vampire. You hear a splat.
Okay. So it's now on the dock, same as I am.
Yeah, it even makes a sort of what would a good gesture be? Kind of like paws at it derisively almost,
Sure.
as it walks by, and then looks at you, kind of does a little bit of a figure eight, kind of gets in a pouncy stance a little bit, shakes its head and its butt, and then kind of leaps a little bit and then stops and looks back.
I know what a play bow is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leaps to the west a couple of steps and then looks back. And then takes off like it's got the zoomies, just like takes off to the west and just runs full blast to the west.
Does it look like something I can keep up with?
That's a good question.
Or is it like Spitfire that just like poof, it's a flash, it's gone?
Yeah, it's not like Spitfire fast for sure.
Okay.
And yeah,
Right.
you could keep up with it. It runs, it's running. It's running full speed towards the end of this little dock area. Are you still
All right.
following it?
I'm still following it.
What do you
Okay.
think, Connor? When?
I mean, you guys
And
can
I
obviously
know-
see.
Well, yeah. So now we notice that he's doing. Although I think in the meantime, I was looking up at those structures, trying to figure out the weakest point. Out of
Yeah. Yeah. So you
I'm certain I'll cycle back around, but because I figure this werecat's probably going to jump and clear that really easy, and
Yeah.
that's where my canine like common sense is going to kick in and be like, no, I'm not going to make that jump.
don't jump
Okay.
into the water.
So what we'll say here is that this dock area is not as neat as it is in this picture because suddenly vampire. So there were several boats that were in the process of either moving out or, somebody was trying to get away on one of them, or they hadn't been secured properly, or maybe one of them's even damaged. And so a couple of them are floating in this area. Maybe there's even a couple of boats floating in.
Oh, you're You're gonna give me platforms to jump.
It's
jump
gonna,
to.
yeah, it's kind of like a platform game. And we'll say,
I will take the platformer.
that the creature easily kind of like leaps on one and then turns to you to see if you're going to follow.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And as soon as it sees in your eyes that it notices you're
Game's on.
playing, you see it smile and then jumps to the next one. Give me a vigilance check.
Vigilance. 13 with no edge,
Yep.
and 15.
Okay. All right. You can see in this one, it looks as though there are two dead bodies in this one, slumped over. You can't tell what caused it without the fantastic.
I'm assuming at this point I can identify vampires pretty quick by smell, especially
Yeah,
dead ones.
these
All right.
don't look like it. Yeah, these
Oh,
don't
these are
look
not
like,
these are not dead vampires?
these do not look like vampires. All right. As it jumps onto this boat, one of them's in the driver's seat, slumped over. And you see the creature sort of start. At first, you almost think, is it attacking the body? But then it's slumped over the steering wheel, and then the creature is pawing something, and you can hear a jingle, a
Well, it's looking for the
metallic
keys.
jingle,
It's looking for the keys.
and then
Okay.
it hops on the hood and sits like a sphinx and just stares at you and kind of just nods
All right, and this is on the
aggressively
first
at you.
boat. This is on the 1st
We'll say
boat?
it's on the second boat. So it jumped on one and it's on the second one.
All right, can I make the jump to the first boat?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
this creature has jump, so they did it easily, but it's still not 15 feet away. So you could,
Gotcha. So I can get to the boat that creature's on?
yeah, not as gracefully for sure, but you can do that. And once you get close, you can see that this creature has a kind of unnatural purplish, lavenderish coloration to it. And you're in your full form, right? Are you in your full battle form like we talked about last
Yeah.
time? You have sort
Yeah,
of like
the
different
full
forms.
hybrid form. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Immediately this thing starts like weaving in and out of your legs, like doing the figure eight, rubbing its head on you. And then occasionally like nodding to like the body. There's two bodies, and now you can see there are obvious vampire puncture wounds in their necks.
Okay,
And they have been
that's
desanguinated.
good. Got it. That's better. I'm glad.
The one thing I'll say is that this creature does not smell like anything you've smelled before. Does not smell
Okay.
like a cat, does not smell like a raccoon, does not smell like a weasel, does not smell like you've never smelled anything like this before. You have no idea what this is.
Okay. I feel like, and I don't think you've said so yet, but I feel like this is a sort of the character strikes us as sort of feminine. Is that true, or is it no identification of gender or anything like that?
The form that it's in, you notice it has its hands look very much like more so like hands than yours do. They've got little claws on them, but the fingers look more like dexterous and like humanoid fingers, a little longer, but they look more graceful. So it gives you a more feminine sense. And the eyes, the way the eyes are shaped, gives a feminine sense, but also in a kind of alien sort of way.
I look back to the dock where the
Mhm.
rest of the party is. And I look back at the other creature.
Mhm.
And I look back to the dock where the other party is. Does the creature give any sort of indication to like understand we should go back to the party?
They will jingle, they will swat at something again. Jingle, jingle, jingle.
I can see that those are keys.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, all right. This could go really good. This could go really bad. The way we talked about it before, werewolf form isn't capable of isn't 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 good at doing the whole magic stuff. So I'm going to say
Mhm.
the werewolf form is just simply not what Connor is used to being doing human things.
Mhm.
And in this specific, so the idea of driving the boat with the keys is one of those things that like he wouldn't do in his werewolf form.
Mhm.
And so, right. Um, in the werewolf form, first things first. Um, I'll get the corpses off the boat.
Okay.
Just throw them overboard.
Easy.
Doesn't
Yep.
matter. They're just meat right now.
Mhm.
And I'll kind of like walk around the the driver's seat, and it'll
Mhm.
probably be really obvious that I won't fit in the driver's seat.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's a point. This creature's still sitting kind of like on the front hood of the boat.
Mhm. Mhm. Just like staring
Okay.
at you. Yep.
All right. So I kind of just sit down and I try to be really quiet
Mhm.
and I shift back.
Okay. Um,
And does anything bad happen?
Nothing bad happens.
What's the creature's take on my shifting?
Unperturbed, I would say.
Okay, that's good. I'm very happy about that.
And
I
yep.
pick up the keys and I start the boat.
Okay. Um,
At
the
the point
cr-
when I start the boat, I would expect any cat worth their salt to realize the front of the boat is probably not the most stable. So does this creature kind of like leap into the boat proper?
no, it turns
Okay.
around. You can see its ears multi-directionally sensing all around it, but is sticking to the front of the boat and not
Oh, that's right. That's
shifting
right.
at
Hyper
all.
sticky. Yeah, sticky critter.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. All right. Actually, do not recognize that character. That
Huh.
looks like some
That's
old. That looks like some old like Cockrum character from like the Starjammers.
Claremont character, actually.
Is a
Yes.
Claremont character. Yep. So yeah, and we'll say as you drive off, um, the creature shifts into a female form, is wearing a uniform of some kind that perhaps none of you recognize, looks at you, big smile, and say, "Black fur friend, yes?"
Yes.
Big smile on her face.
Cool.
Cat's eye help black fur? Black fur help cat's eye?
Yes.
Cat's eye have red fur friend. Cat's eye had red fur friend. Cat's eye doesn't know where red fur friend is. Find together.
Yes.
She gets very excited and then just looks forward again.
Black fur. Friends on dock. They may help too.
No fur, but friends.
Friends.
Okay.
Cool.
Friends kill vampires.
Very much.
Good friends. She's got a big smile on her face.
Cool. We got ourselves an NPC. So what do I have to do to get their attention to let them know that we have a boat?
I think we would have noticed that you ran off.
Oh, well, I didn't know if you followed.
I think it was just like, oh, there goes Connor running really fast.
Yeah, I think Spitfire was like kind of split between her intentional like study of these cranes
Mhm.
versus he just ran off. Should I pay attention to that?
Yeah, so let's shift back a little bit. Cullen, actually, all three of you can give me logic checks as you're kind of just taking a look at the cranes. And we'll say it's a little tougher. We'll call this a 14.
I did terrible.
I got an 11.
I got a 5. I'm like, they're made of
Oh
that.
my God. Is that,
5?
it's very close to the minimum.
I figured out that they're big and they're made of metal and they're attached to this dock.
Cullen,
It's yeah.
I got a,
Can't get any lower, really.
I got a 14.
14. Okay. You don't think the collection of people you have with you right now could take care of this crane, but maybe if the ring came off, maybe that could do it. You're pretty sure that could do it, but that introduces a very big variable.
Yeah, we're not going down that road.
Okay.
We have, but if we can use the semi, basically blow up the semi along the path of the road, it would stall them from getting wherever they're going.
You don't know, because if you look at the scale here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like this is where they were. This is where the checkpoint was, right?
Yeah.
Each one of these containers is, roughly the size of a semi, right? That might be like the back of a semi truck. So
Sure.
this is 100 feet
Not
of
there.
road.
Not there on the road. You said they're
Going like
over here.
it's too late to do that, I would say at this point. It's definitely too late to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we should get on the
Right. By the
Oh.
time you got to them, they would be off the bridge. Like they're already on the bridge now. Even if you did that, even if you had that idea like immediately, it would have been tough.
So I would say best case scenario to slow down the vessel would be to lodge a car in the place where they have to control the vessel. And I relay that information to the rest of the team.
All right. Now, do the three of you want to make your way closer to where Connor had run off?
I am following
We could start
Cullen.
moving towards the boats regardless. Yes.
Okay. So Cullen, his shadow, and Spitfire all
Well,
move westward, or Jen, do you want to have Spitfire do something else?
I think Spitfire, once she's determined that crane just looks too big
Mm-hmm.
for us to deal with, probably then would be like, oh, where'd the werewolf go? And zoom after her. Just
Okay. Yeah. So
find
you
out
can
what's going
easily
on.
zip right over here, and you can very clearly see, we'll say at this point, Connor has just gone to his human form, and is, all right. Yeah. You don't see either of the
started the boat.
bodies.
Yeah, I
Okay. Yep.
started the
And you
boat.
probably hear the right, starts up nice and easy. Relatively simple steering mechanism, right? This is
It's
not,
a boat.
yeah, it's
It's a
not
boat.
it's not like it's a boat designed to be driven by non-experts.
By drunk people.
I was literally thinking that and going to say that. So yes, by drunk people.
Which basically means it's a boat.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
So can I see his lavender friend?
You can see his lavender friend in her human form. You can see a tail kind of going up behind her
Okay.
happily. And maybe even as you approach, she puts a big smile on and like takes one of her hands off of the front of the boat and still maintains, balance and stability and kind of just waves enthusiastically at you. And then Vann, are you going to have Connor? So right now it's started. You're going to be moving. If so,
Yeah, I
in
mean,
what
I'm driving it
direction?
over to the dock, so it's on there, so it's to a place where they can uh climb on the boat.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
and we'll say the other boat's kind of in the way a little bit. There was like
Mhm.
another boat you jumped over, but the creature in front of you, and I'm just trying to think the physics of how this would work. Every action having an equal and opposite reaction. Um, is able to like you can see her claws kind of get under it a little bit
Mhm.
and grip like the fiberglass to the point where it begins to dent and shatter and splinter a little bit, and then kind of like lift it up, and the front of the boat your boat goes down a little bit as she lifts it up a little bit and just kind of pushes it off. You push back a little bit, but she's able to get it out of the way so you can drive by without
Cool.
any damage to your boat.
Groovy.
And then
She's a
yeah,
good co-pilot.
you've got free reign to kind of zip around.
She has shotgun.
Yeah, so you can,
And do I see Spitfire up on the dock?
yeah, you can see Spitfire kind of running this way.
Okay. I kind of like wave. I wave to her so that she
Mhm.
can
Okay.
Yeah.
see.
So we'll say you can kind of come up in this area over here, and there are, I would say some ropes and stuff either on the boat or on the dock that you could throw. Yeah, so you can get right up
Mhm.
to this corner over here.
Yep.
Right. So yeah. So if I can see that he's headed for an area with some ropes, I could run over there
Mhm.
and throw a rope. And probably then run back over to Cullen and the Rose Pastor and
Mhm.
say, "Come on,
Yeah.
Connor's got a boat and
Yeah.
a new friend."
Okay. All right. So
So
you gonna
are
head
we
up on
not
land, Connor, or
are we not trying to stop the boat then?
well, you can certainly.
What's
Connor's hasn't heard this,
yeah,
but if you wanted
yeah,
to,
tell me the
Connor's.
idea.
Yep.
Yeah, I relay that information to Connor.
Okay. So Connor, you look around and you can see that there are indeed a couple of cars in the area.
I like the idea of using cars as Molotov cocktails.
Okay. Yep. So you got a couple of vehicles there. You can go into your
Cool.
full form, your
Yep.
your you got Mighty
The hybrid.
3.
Yeah.
Your what's your melee score in that form?
The ability score is 6, defense score 16.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and then you can go with the Mighty 3, you can go 3 sizes higher. So yeah, throwing a car is relatively easy at that size. So yeah, you can launch a couple of them through. Give me a couple give me roll 1d6 and cut it in half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 1, 2, and 3.
5.
Okay, so there are 3 vehicles you think you could launch at this. So give me 3 attack rolls.
Melee attack? Yeah.
3 regular. It'd be agility.
Oh, it'd be agility.
It'd be agility.
Oh, that was a dump stat for me. Okay. Okay. 3 agility rolls. Let me see. 15.
Okay.
10.
It has, I'm thinking a TN of 10, right? This does not have an agility score that it's opposed. I'm just
Okay.
looking for marvels, basically.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, 3 Marvel 5.
Okay.
So 14 on the last one.
Okay.
Thank you for saying that. I think you jinxed me on that one. Or what's you?
Second one hits, nothing dramatic happens. First one hits, crumples up a little bit, falls down. Second one was a 10, right? That one just kind of wings it, right? A little bit, but still, you think does
Yeah.
some damage. Third one, you're able to smash it really good. You've kind of got the hang of this now. That one does, like, whether it's the sparks hitting, maybe some gasoline that had leaked from one or the first or second one, the metal on metal, something ignites. No giant explosion, but fire that might, you can see not all
Okay.
3 of the cars have caught on fire. We haven't found the gas tank yet, but reasonable to believe if you saw this on the side of a road, you would not want to be near it for fear of it blowing up. So your gut is, hey, it's a possibility. Maybe it'll actually blow.
Cool. That works for me.
You turn around and you can see the purple hair lady just on the front of the boat, just like clapping in utter delight.
We should probably leave.
Okay. All right. So you guys can hop on to the boat. And we'll say the woman now, at least in her form, says, I have place where I was staying before. And then she just looks up at the sky. Used to be a school here, but no more. We were on an island. Krakoa, nice island, but not there anymore.
Would any of us know the name Krakoa?
I would say, yeah, because Krakoa
It's been in the news enough.
was a recognized country by
Nation.
the UN, right? So yeah, when she says Krakoa, you're like, oh, and you would probably even know, oh, mutant.
Yeah.
I came here thinking maybe school would still be here, but school's not here.
Oh, now I know what she's talking about. Cool.
Red Fur friend was only one that looked out for me. She wasn't in school. She was just good friend, even though her friends and my friends weren't very good friends. At least not all the time. But anyway, they came for her. I killed a couple of them, but there were more than I could kill myself. But I could track her. I could track them. And I knew they were coming here. I overheard them. But I haven't seen her. I don't know where she is. But I would very much like to find her.
Well, I'm gonna look over at Thoreau's pastor and Cullen and Spitfire and any of you have objections to her joining this motley crew?
I am so sorry. It is so nice to meet you. I'm Alder Ackerman. Are you interested in becoming one of the Rose Warriors?
She I guess at this point she'll kind of like leap into the air kind of onto the boat, and when she stands, she's 6 foot tall. Like, I don't know how tall you are, but she's very, very lithe body. She still has, and especially up close, she still has these greenish, very big almond eyes and purple hair. Even her eyelashes are not black. Her eyebrows are all this kind of purplish lavender color. And she'll just like kind of go right up to you and like lean right in and sniff you a little bit, kind of like really quickly. And then she'll take a step back, and then she'll put her hand out kind of formally to shake your hand.
I think I wear a lot of cologne. Um,
Yeah, she'll
yeah.
she'll wrinkle her nose at that. Yeah, she'll
Put up my
probably
hand.
say, "My name is Cat's Eye," or Sharon. I guess she looks at you first, and kind of like, then we'll say like Sharon, almost like, "Oh, you're a human, so my human name is Sharon." Although she doesn't explicitly say that. And yeah, and all of her sentences are barely English, but you don't get the sense that it's like a of stupidity or anything like that. She does not sound like a native English speaker for sure, but you don't get the sense that she's like dumb.
Yeah. Do any of you know? Is this someone Alder tries to get a sense of like, this is a world with a lot of superheroes in it,
Mhm.
and a lot of them are famous, right? And well known. Like, I don't know who this is. Like, do any of you know who this is?
Definitely does not come across as like Spider-Man or Iron.
Right.
Yeah, she said Krakoa, and to me that means mutants.
Right. Yep. That's about all
Right.
you
And
would.
I guess I'm assuming that that is the level that Spitfire would connect also.
Yep.
Now she does have leverage. It says they have an edge on logic checks to investigate people and ego checks to persuade people they've investigated. So,
You can
could you do a
investigate her if
logic
you want.
check to investigate her at this
Yeah.
point?
Yeah. And we can do
While
that,
she's-
ask her some questions and that,
Yeah. So I would just say, and I'm Spitfire. And when was the last time you were at school?
She says, time is really weird in the Marvel universe. Pre-Krakoan
Don't
era.
I know it?
She says, before Krakoa,
Okay.
for some time, Red Fur Friend and I were both very young. She didn't go to school in Boston. She went to school in New York.
She's probably talking about the Boston Academy. Emma Frost.
Oh, yes,
No.
Emma. Emma, Emma take Emma took very good care of us.
Mm.
But Emma's not here. I'm sure Emma's doing something very important, but she's not here right now.
Well, I might suggest that we go back to the manor just so we can replenish goods and that sort of thing.
Okay.
You can get your grenades.
I mean, I think
No
at this
grenades.
point, at this point, I think I deserve to have a grenade or two. I'm just
Oh, you would.
Okay, Cat's Eye said that she tracked her friend to the dock.
Tracked her friend to a truck, and then overheard
Right. Okay.
some directions and whatnot. But then there were she took
Gotcha.
out a couple of
Yeah.
them, but then just so that's why she was kind of here, maybe waiting. Maybe it would be one of the other boats coming, but she's at least satisfied that, all right, well, if we've damaged this boat, if the freighter can't take off, then they can't take her red fur friend away.
and you said that yeah, so I mean I would imagine if like this is we should be trying to recollect and see what we can ascertain from what we've learned already about what's actually going on. And obviously she's missing her friend and we can use all the help we can get. So we should probably go and try and find her friend, whose name I already know, but I'm not going to ruin that for anybody.
Yeah.
Red fur friend knows many more people than me. She was the one who found me. and was looking after me. Red Fur Friend might have more information. And they were looking for Red Fur Friend, but I don't know why. This might be a good opportunity for an investigation type role. So Spitfire, why don't we get back to you? We're not really treating her like a criminal or anything like that, or an
Right.
antagonist, but with the language difference, maybe it's a way of you teasing information out using your logic. So yeah, ask some questions, and then what I'll do is, if you're successful with the edge, I'll give you more direct answers than she's currently capable of sharing.
So they took Red Fur Friend, and you think she's on the boat?
Well, I think they were taking her there. But it was complicated. So yeah, so give me a roll.
I got a 446, which is a result
Ooh.
of 15.
Okay, great.
Then I can
Yeah, so
still
that's a
re-roll.
success.
Do I still want to re-roll the center one to see if I get a marble?
Yep.
And I got a 17.
Okay. So you rolled a
I
6
got
on
a
it, just a
6.
regular 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, a success. So yeah, so you're able to piece. So I'll give you the following information that you're able to piece out. Like, you're able to ask her what Red Fur Friend's name was,
Right.
and why they were looking for her, and she tells you her friend's name. Oh, her human name. Um, well, first she says her name was I call her Red Fur Friend, um but Emma called her Wolfsbane. But she had a human name too. Her name was Rain Sinclair. And they were looking for her. They were looking for a few people. They had a list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't remember. They didn't say anyone else's name, but they were looking for her because they thought she was a werewolf. And I guess she is. I don't know. Not like me. More like me, but not a wolf. It's complicated. But they were interested in her healing ability,
Oh.
and they wanted to study her.
Aha.
I don't know how. And they had other ones they were looking for, but they didn't mention names. And they weren't all here. There were um other places, they said.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I remember. But they were looking for um many individuals.
And England?
I don't. Ironically, there were no werewolves in London. Um, um, I don't think there were. I don't remember them saying anything about werewolves in London,
Okay.
yeah, that's all I know. But um, maybe we could track Red for a friend.
I'm fine by that.
I think we should certainly try to find Red Fur Friend, but we should probably restock and maybe get something to eat first.
Okay, yeah. So you can, if you want, you can head back, reload, get something to eat. you're just walking and talking, kind of doing your best to stick to the shadows, hurry across street corners. Once you get to the block that the Curios is on, everyone give me some vigilance checks.
Should I take my
Yes, this is to notice
trouble here?
something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's the target number?
We will say target number 14 on this one.
Re-rolling the Marvel.
Ooh,
Still
okay.
17.
I've sucked on vigilance checks up until now.
My Marvel turned into a 6.
14.
17.
I only have 11.
Okay. All right. So the 14s and higher, as you're kind of walking down the block, you can see a couple of lights up in the sky a little bit.
What do you mean lights in the sky? Like what are the
Little red and green blinking lights. At first you think it's like, oh, is that a plane? But you're like, nope, it's much closer than that from the way it's moving. At first you thought it was a very fast moving plane or helicopter or something like that. But then you realize, nope, that's like
a drone?
Yep. It looks like something like a drone.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
And then you hear a click clack, and let's roll initiative.
17.
13.
17.
A 12.
14 for Cat's Eye. Fortunately, the drones, there are 3 of them. And I'm just having them, I decided they're all going to go on the same initiative, and they got a fantastic result.
Ooh.
Curious that, huh? They have 2 things they can do, and based on the way you guys, so again, you didn't tell me anything specific that you were doing. So you're in my mind, you're walking as, a group, you're having a conversation.
I'm not in werewolf form at this specific moment.
Once they see you, you hear click clack, and you can see, the drones are about like, maybe like 2 to 3 foot in diameter. Like they're not like tiny little camera drones. These are much beefier. And you can see they're big enough to hold a couple of little mini guns on either side. And each one of them is going to spray the area that you're in with bullets.
How many are there?
There are 3 of them. All right, so the first one's going to go for Spitfire, Rose Pastor, and Connor. That's not a good roll at all. That is 8. That's only an 11 against agility. Does that hit anyone? Don't think so.
11
Nope.
against agility. My agility defense score is 10.
Okay. Oh, you didn't take brawling yet, huh? Yeah. Okay. All right. So
I'm not in this attack, right? It's attacking.
not this one. Yeah. It can only attack 3 at a time.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like move it around.
Okay.
All right. So the first one does hit, and you're in your human form. What's your sturdy in your human form?
Sturdy in my human form is not.
Oh, okay. You didn't. None. Okay. Okay.
Sturdy. I have 2 ranks of sturdy and my werewolf form, and that's werewolf. I can't get sturdy 3 from magic until
rank. Right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So then that is.
Oh, they should also have trouble attacking me if it's an agility attack.
Well, they already missed you, so.
Yeah, just future reference.
Rub it in.
Okay, so that's 11 points of damage as you get sprayed by a couple of bullets. One of them wings you. The second one we'll say is going to attack. I'm just going to roll randomly here. This is going to be Cat's Eye, Spitfire, and Connor.
Okay.
This is a 13, but let me roll for Spitfire. A 12 on Spitfire.
And
Against your
difficulty
agility.
is 12.
Okay. So hits on actually Cat's Eye. Just hit Cat's Eye too. Cat's Eye is a 13. Okay. This is 17 points of damage each. I rolled the same thing. I rolled 1, 5, 3 again. So the way I'm looking, that's 1 is Jen, 3 is Connor, and 5 is Cat's Eye. So I rolled literally the same thing randomly again. So I guess you guys are just the ones in front, and Rose Pastor is hiding behind Cullen as per usual. So the dice are telling a good story here. Okay, that's a bad roll. That's only a 10. That's a very bad roll. But the 10 still hits Connor,
Oh yeah.
and it's less than it. Oh, well, it's still a 10 for Jen for Spitfire with the trouble. All right. But that's only 8 points of damage on you. Rolled pretty low on the Marvel die there.
Yeah.
And Cat's Eye is able to jump out of the way.
In my human form,
Yeah.
I am almost half.
Wow. Yeah. But remember, for future reference, you could use a reaction.
Oh, that's right, I could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Well, here's a question. This is all on the drones, like not round, but their action round. So
yeah, and it's a
basically,
bonus
still
round.
all three drones would still fire.
I mean, technically, but yeah, let's figure that out for next time. But
Sure.
but if you want, certainly you could use your reaction from the
Yeah,
bonus
to switch in.
round to switch, so you don't have to worry about it in the first round. And it is the first round, 17, Cullen.
Ooh, quick question.
Yes.
I'm not in my werewolf form. Would this trigger Berserker?
Do you get the Berserker tag when you go into your werewolf form, or I think that's one of the ones that you get
I think
added.
it is. I think it is one of the ones I get added.
Yeah, so I'd say no.
Okay.
So I'm going to use stopping power. And
Does Cullen definitely go before me? I'm asking because the only thing I can really do is inspire. So I was hoping.
Oh, if you want,
Cullen.
you could
Yeah.
just have that conversation, and he could just
Yeah.
delay.
that's
to
fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Alder playing up to Cullen's believing that he's flirting with him, and being perfectly fine with that perception. Tries to inspire him. You know, I know that you can do this, man. You can take these things out. These are target practice for you.
Flatterer.
So that's my standard action. That's inspiring. So that gives you an edge on all action checks until the start of my character's next turn.
Cool. Okay. And then I will do stopping power. And
Okay.
And just
You're looking at a TN of 12 to hit them.
okay. I don't have to enter damage reduction, so roll.
Yep, no damage reduction.
But I get an edge, so I get to re-roll this. I got an 11, so I'm re-rolling my marble die. 13.
Okay, great. That's a hit.
Damage of 29.
29.
Yep.
All right, good hit. I'm just assigning them numbers. I'm going to say you shot the one all the way on the left. We'll call that number 1. And we'll say you you blow one of the machine guns right off of it, and it tilts off to the side, but it's still airborne. Cat's Eye goes next. She starts looking at that, like the buildings, and then starts looking around, and then she looks at Connor, and she gets a big smile, and she says, "Throw me?" And then she will wait until it is Connor's turn.
Fastball special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Spitfire.
So I need a ranged weapon. So I think I had borrowed a pistol from Cullen. I had that written down,
Sure. Yeah.
and I think I still have that. And this would just require regular bullets, not silver ones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So gonna get out the pistol and try to shoot.
Okay. Do you want to shoot for the one that's already been hit by Cullen, or one of the two fresh ones?
Which one hit me?
A
Using
bunch of
human
them.
Right. All right, I'll just go for the closest then.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. They all kind of went at the same time,
Okay.
and there was just a spray of bullets in the general area.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, so I'll go for the closest one. Is that the same one that Cullen hit?
Up to you. I would say it only matters that, if you did a certain amount of damage, you could take one out, but maybe not one of the other ones. So just
Right.
the wounded one, a damaged one, or a fresh one. Let me know.
Damaged one then. Sure.
Okay.
So it gave me a 4 + 2 + 2 + 2, 10.
Okay. Then yeah.
Um,
You fire at it, zings right over it. Yeah, because your agility is 2. So yep. And it's not a melee attack, so you don't get the bonus.
Right. Yeah, my edge is on melee
Can I
attack.
use my reaction to
Oh, you certainly
help
could.
teammates?
Okay.
And I think all I could do is probably a similar sort of inspiration reaction, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not even gonna try at this point. But yeah, Alder says something very, very inspiring to
Ooh.
Spitfire.
I'm feeling inspired already.
All right, so you can go ahead and re-roll one of those.
Re-roll the Marvel and same thing. Give me a 10
Aw.
again. Oh well.
I know you can do this, Spitfire. I believe. Oh,
The drones go. All right, so I'm going to roll randomly to see who they attack. This time it is Cullen, Rose Pastor, and Connor.
I can't sculpt either.
Okay, this is a 17
Ooh,
to hit. Not a
Marvel.
Marvel on that. Luckily the Marvel die was the lowest. I got 6 and then 3 on the Marvel.
Okay.
So the damage isn't that great.
Well, it hits. Well, at least it hits me.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so that would be 11 points for anyone without sturdy, and then you've got Vann, you've got sturdy 2, right?
Correct.
All right, so that is
Yes.
only 5 points of damage for you.
I have sturdy 1.
Okay, so that's only 8 points of damage for you.
And healing factor is
On your turn, you get your resilience score back.
First time this adventure that Alder has taken damage.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's see if we can do
So,
that again
now-
randomly.
I find
wait a minute.
Yep.
I just took damage. I mean, you want to finish? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Finish
It was
Finish off doing
only,
the drones.
I mean, you can make the roll, but it was only what did I say?
5.
5.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can,
And so
you have to roll over that, right? Wait, how does it?
uh
Yeah, the
character often
TN
loses
is the
control of a
damage.
temper.
So I
Yeah,
don't know if you
dangerous
can
or
fail that.
the TN is ego check, and my ego is 2. So non-combat checks, I have a +2, so I roll that.
Yeah, you can't.
17. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't fail.
Yeah. All right. So the second drone goes, and this is going at Spitfire, Rose Pastor, and Connor. Oh, okay. That is a 16 agility. That is a marvel on the die. I will re-roll that for Spitfire. Still got a 6. So at least it's not a fantastic success against you. Um, okay. Jen, Spitfire takes 20 points of damage. Grem,
Mm-hmm.
the Rose Pastor takes 40
Oh my gosh.
points
Wow.
of damage. Now, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Are you still up?
This was
Yeah.
a marvel on the marvel roll. This, I'm not suggesting you do this. This might be a time to use a point of karma.
Oh yeah. Sorry. And I to give them trouble. Right? That's how it works.
Right. And then it would reduce that
Yeah.
roll.
I think the Rose Pastor deserves that trouble on the drone for all the good that he's done
Okay.
so far.
All right. So knock that karma off.
Yeah.
Okay. Knocked it down to a 4.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
that was
that's a big
significant.
deal. 14 points of damage
Okay.
for you
But and
instead
it's
of
still
40.
it doesn't change the attack roll, right?
It does, but it was so high that
Okay,
it doesn't
okay.
matter.
14 points of damage.
Right. Right. Against you, that was still
Yeah.
that was still an agility of 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. And then against werewolf, this we'll reduce that to 1. It's 32, right? Yeah. So 6 times 1.
Yeah, it's
Only
32.
only 8 points of damage because you're sturdy. All right. This time we are Rose Pastor, Cat's Eye, and Connor.
He Alder this round.
Jeez.
Gotta love me getting that bullet.
That's a 12 agility. That's gonna miss Cat's Eye,
Misses me.
misses Alder, and hits the old
Me.
werewolf. But that's only 7 points of damage on you. On the
Okay.
werewolf.
So that one I don't even need to bother rolling it.
Right. All right. Now it is Connor's turn. And Cat's Eye's looking expectantly at you.
Sure, let's do the whole fastball special.
Okay.
Why the hell not?
You make a throw, and then she'll make the attack at the end. So she's the one using her reaction to kind of attack at the end. So let's get an agility check out of you to throw her.
Okay. So what am I trying to beat?
A 12.
Cross fingers, folks.
What happened? Oh God.
I am going to re-roll. I will re-roll the 1.
What are you
I rolled a 7, so it's a 3, 3,
Oh.
1.
My God. Why are you re-rolling?
Oh,
mean,
fuck,
using what?
I don't have any rerolls. I don't.
Okay, so Cat's Eye is going to give you a reaction. Cat's Eye will use help teammate
Yay.
and kind of like look like, you're kind of like
This has never happened before.
kind of awkwardly holding her a little bit. And she's like, it's okay. It's okay. All right. So I will mark that hers is used.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll the 1.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. She might not this might be stupid. Yeah, she can't use her reaction because she needs
But
her reaction for the fastball
Spitfire
special.
could use her reaction. Spitfire actually gets 2
Okay, great.
per round.
Okay.
So I guess Spitfire would be like, yeah, like toss her like you mean it.
All right, I'm re-rolling the 1. It's 10. Yay. I went up 3 points, but that's
All
still
right.
sorry. It was all
Anyone
new.
else got a reaction, a help teammate reaction they want to use here? Alder used his, Spitfire used hers, Cat's Eye. So it just comes
I mean,
down
granted,
to
I have been shot to the point where I'm down something like,
sure. Yep.
you know, close to, actually I'm down 64 points.
Yep.
Excuses.
Oh wait, do I get 6 back?
Yeah. But yeah, so Cullen, do you want to use your help teammate?
I was really hoping to save my reaction, but yes. Would you just throw her already?
So I've got a 3, a 4, and a 3. I guess I'm going to re-roll one of the 3s.
Yep.
And I'll re-roll the 3 that is potentially the marble. So roll that. And I did not go up. I went down. I went to
Okay.
a 10.
Man.
All right.
Happens.
So I'm gonna say, right, so you launch her. You're riddled with bullets. You come up short. I'm gonna say there is a street light that she's able to kind of grab onto and then scurry up on. All right, so that's your turn. It's hers now. So she's up on a street light. She has the jump ability. So she is going to jump on one of the she's going to try and take out the one that's already wounded. So she is just going to jump on this thing and try and slash at it. Okay. Just barely hits this thing. And we got a 4. And she's got mighty. Just enough to take it down. Okay. And then she's going to use the remainder of her jump to kind of just so she just jumps on this thing, slashes it, and it starts, moving down to the ground. And she's just going to kind of jump off of it and land on the ground next to it. As it crashes on the ground, sparks fly. So that is the end of round 1, beginning of round 2. Alder, you go.
Yep. Going to inspire Cullen again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cullen on
You
17.
did such a good job last time.
You go with that nice edge from.
I'm going to throw a little pity also into that inspiration. Like they got me. They got me, Cullen. Help, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna do stopping power again.
Okay. And we got 2 fresh ones left, no damaged ones.
Right. So I'm gonna take this fresh one and shoot at it again. Roll. Ooh, fantastic 17, and I was using stopping power, which means I get to do it again.
Ooh.
Nice.
The first roll gets 68 damage.
Okay. What was the actual die roll there?
It was 1 Marvel 6 plus 4.
Okay.
Do you take the edge on that one? No, wait, you
Yeah.
get to take the edge on both.
Yeah. So take the edge on the one, and you have a chance for an ultimate fantastic.
Oh, so that means I do a reroll on a die.
Yep.
But re-rolling the Marvel die in this case is a bad idea.
Don't
right?
reroll the Marvel die.
Right. You would reroll the
One.
you got 1 Marvel 6, right? So reroll the 1.
Yes. 22. Still 68 damage. Ultimate fantastic though.
You got a 616?
I got 6 Marvel 6.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes. So
Right.
All right. So what's the total damage there?
68.
Okay. So that's enough to take that one down in one shot. But with an ultimate fantastic success, what would you like to happen?
I pull out my pistols.
Mhm.
I stare this thing down. Die, you bloody bastard! Brrr.
All right. So let me give you a little something extra.
A little something, something.
Okay. So typically stopping power says the character can make another regular ranged attack at the
Right.
same target.
Yes.
I'm going to allow you to make another regular ranged attack at the other target
Cool.
since you destroyed this one.
Cool.
Sweet.
So we'll bend the rules there a little bit.
Okay. Ready? Go. Roll. Ooh, man. Fantastic 18. 4 Marvel 4 plus 4. 68 damage.
you get an edge on that one too.
I
If
get
you
the edge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna re-roll, and I guess I'll re-roll one of these 4s.
Gotta say, I like your guns.
Today there were
Spitfire's looking at what is the shit pistol you gave me?
so it's a 19. It's still a fantastic success, and
And 68. All right.
damage.
That one goes down too. All right. So very quickly after that
Die
initial
today, you fuckers.
amazing. Oh wow, that's some good shooting. Yeah, so we'll end there and you guys can figure out what the next steps might be. You're within sight of the Curio.
So we're gonna retire into the Curio.
Yeah,
I think
we'll say
that's-
you can get
I think
there.
that's safe to say. We get to the Curio.
No other ones, but your sense is obviously these things were positioned here specifically looking for you.
Oh, good.
That's excellent.